What's up, everybody? Feeling low-key today. Maybe a little autumnal. So yeah, feeling chill, taking it easy a little bit. Who was first today? Stereo Decor. Hello, hello. Acid Bat. Yo, yo. 808 BD. First time joining the stream. Good God. Big hugs. Very nice. Lie Society is back. Scromantis. What's up, Techno heads? Kobanya 3000. Hello. Luminous Cloud. He's got questions. Max for Live virtual analog style synths? There must be something, right? Advancer, welcome. And Aaron Hedges, hey. All right. Let's ease on in on this low-key Saturday, early afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome, everybody. It's Selway's Techno Saturdays with me here on 343 TV. Man, I should have had a drink of water first. 343 TV. I forgot how to talk. I'm waking up still, apparently. Brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School here in New York City, in Berlin, and online. Globally, yes, we are global. We have a global audience. We've got a global bunch here in the chat from all over the place. Eli, Groove Tiger, what's up? Yeah, Max for Live. So much stuff. How do you choose? That reminds me of something, actually. I'm going to go look it up while I talk to you. But yeah, so here we are. Gosh, there's something going on. My chat somehow is not working. Usually I have you can see there's a chat running next to me here, and OBS is freaking out today. So it's just me here in outer space. I don't have my friends, my chat friends joining me here. I'm not sure why. We'll have to fix that later because right now we've got more important things to talk about, like techno music and things like that. Yeah, so while we're talking about it, yeah, this came up in Ableton Live class when we talk about Max for Live and how it's just an amazing ocean of interesting, unusual devices and practical devices and things that you never imagined. You know, there's a lot of creative people out there developing, but there's so much. I mean, you can go to maxforlive.com and that's sort of organized and there's some reviews and things. But I like Elephant has this website, the Max for Live curated collection, and so this is a good starting point if you're not sure where to look for things. But yeah, Luminous Cloud is talking about analog. Virtual analog style. You know, it's funny. There are some, but there aren't that many. I mean, this one is a bunch of different models based after Eurorack, so there's going to be some virtual analog in there. I mean, there's really just anything you can think of, right? I thought I heard about, there's like a new one that's free from Fours that's like a 303 style virtual analog monosynth. I don't know if that's in here, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. Who else is jumping in here in the chat? We've got Keenan. Hey, what's up? Techno does not interest Keenan very... Is it Keenan or Kenan? Sorry. Techno seems monotonous. Do you think we have become a factory? Well, boy, my chat overlay... Both my chat overlays are broken today. That's what I get for not double checking. That is just, all right, this one I'm going to try to fix because I can do that easily without messing with Restream. Let's try and get this chat overlay working. Not sure what is going on today. It's just, is it a full moon again? Oh boy. All right, nothing's working. The links aren't working. You're just gonna have to listen to me talk. You can't read across the bottom. But yeah, so Kenan is, yeah, I think all music is like that nowadays. It's not just techno. I think so much music is coming out and so many people are making music that you're just going to hear more of the same more often. And it's never like all music was groundbreaking in the past, right? Like every artist, there's always been similar artists and people learning from each other and or copying each other or doing the similar genres. I mean, think of the blues and rock and roll and all of that. It's cultural, right? It's normal for there to be music that sounds similar. It's part of a cultural language that we all share, and techno is part of that. So yeah, there's tons and tons of techno. I think you just have to search harder to find the unique stuff because there's such a flood, right? And I'm not totally bored with it. Obviously, I do techno Saturdays and I make different styles of techno. I mean, even today, I'm thinking about playing around just with some simple, stripped down, spacey kind of dubby techno. And how many times can we hear Basic Channel over and over again, right? Someone even this actually was something I was thinking about this week because I read a comment on there's an edit of one of the live streams on 343 here where I did some kind of dub techno chords using the vocoder and I did some crazy modulation and some guys being a little bit of a troll. I mean, like, yeah, what's so new? Why don't you try something new? Why do more Sven Oswald again, right? Why? Because it resonates, because it's a sound and a style of music that we like. It doesn't have to be new. So anyway, that's how I feel about it. You like it, you like it. It doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It can be a variation. Now, maybe don't go out there and say it's the greatest, newest thing in the world. Be modest about it. Be a part of the continuum. Be a part of the collective, the dub techno psyche or whatever it is, right? But yeah. Anyway, I'm ranting now. Listen to me. I'm waking up talking about negative comments. I usually don't do that, but last week, did we say it was the full moon last week? This week, I have no excuse. This week is probably I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, need another coffee, and should probably have a drink of water before I start talking to you guys. So let's see. Kenan, I think you explained it. I think I understood you. So yeah, I think that's good to question that. And actually, I'm curious if you're not as into techno now and you're making music, what is interesting you? What is exciting you? Now, I've always been into techno and electro, but I've gone through waves of being more into one or in the other. And lately, I have been honestly, I love techno of all types, most types. So there's some examples of things I could maybe not hear so much, but I'm more sort of inspired, honestly. I'm a little bit more inspired as an artist right now by electro and breaks and bass music, but not like dubstep bass music. I mean, more syncopated, sophisticated, intricate rhythms, IDM, but with a lot of low end. And electro has bass and, sort of more cutting edge breaks that verges on electro or IDM. And then also where all of that intersects techno. That's what makes techno exciting for me. And why, one of my favorite DJs out there is Stingray, because, he's a Detroit techno and electro producer and DJ who's got a cutting edge sound and he knows how to rock a party and he doesn't just play electro. He mixes it up, right? He plays Detroit style. He plays more industrial, mechanical, hard style. He has funk. Sometimes it's brutal machine rhythms. Sometimes it's sophisticated and funky and bassy. It's all of that is what I like to get into now in that world. The techno and electro that kind of works together. That's what inspires me a little bit more than just straight techno, right? I love that too, mind you, but I'm not being critical of anything. I'm just telling you how I feel. It's from the heart. All right. So as I was saying, I was thinking about just playing around with some. I'm starting with almost a blank slate today. I've got a 909 drum rack loaded up here with just a kick drum and a hi-hat. That's it. Oh, you don't hear that because, once again, I'm a little slow on the draw today. Let's fix that and make sure I have my audio routing correct. Here we go. You should hear it now. Boom, tick, boom, tick, boom, tick. Sound all right? Real simple. I'm going to turn the volume up in here a little bit. Got some more people in the chat. Simple Sam, what's up? Josh Holiday. Ben Colts, happy Techno Saturday, and New Drexian. All right. Simple Sam says sound yes. I am just gutted that my chat's not working on the screen here today. I'm so used to having you here around me, all your words floating around my head. And I'm not what were we just talking about? Dub techno and how it all sounds the same. Techno all sounds the same. And I'm not trying to be groundbreaking today. I just want to make some beats. All right. We're just going to hang out and I'm going to fool around. The one sort of thing I wanted to focus on in terms of direction, well, I want to place some limitations here. I want it to be dubby techno, but not with your typical chord stabs. Like, how many minor triads can we take, right? Like, so I want to use more noise and texture and bass and not so much the chord stabs. So that's what we're going to try to do. And I just, I like using, I'm just also going to mostly stick to live devices just for speed. And I often turn to operator or other FM synths to make really solid, precise bass sounds. And I wanted something resonant, like warm and deep, but also kind of hollow. If you're listening to this on a phone or bad speakers, you're not hearing that. All right, so my goals are beats, bass, noise, effects, no dubby, but no big triads, no big typical dub chords, right? Something else, something to make it a little different than it normally is. All right. And again, I'm going to start with not worrying about how unique and original it is and just give it a vibe, just give it a feel. I have a rhythm in my head. One long note, one short note. I like the really short hi-hats. Really. And let's make this more dirty. It already has a little bit of dirt because there's this drive and saturation in here. No, we don't want too much low end on that. We want it to be sharp and punchy. What's this vintage thing? What's in there? Oh, it must be the mix. Yeah, it's this thing. This is all the stuff hiding in that. Oh, the redux. That's what's probably making it vintage style. It's lower sample rate. Right, there's our saturator. There's a glue compressor, which isn't doing anything right now. Actually, I think I want it less compressed now that I think about it. It's getting already squashed from the saturation. All right. That's a loud hi-hat. I said this is, I forgot this is on here, but I have, I want to play around a little bit with saturating the whole mix and adding noise to the whole mix, and something like a tape emulation could be cool for that. Not that I want it to be all like lo-fi necessarily. I mean, that's part of it, but all right, that's too much. But it's giving it a flavor. I'm looking for flavor. But yeah, it's taking away all the bass. see if you guys can take how minimal this is today. Let's add some echo already. It can't be dub without delays. Do I want to use a return? Let's start with a return. I'm going to make my own feedback loop today. I want to go bonkers with delays and noise. I can do that with one echo or some other fancier plugin, but I think it could be fun to build up my own chain. So let's do that. It's going to start with a delay that's on here and route the signal back into itself and put a compressor after. Well, actually, let's put a saturator after. We want noise. So let's start with the saturator. And I'm actually going to run the bass in there for a start. Let's put the filter on. And bring up the actual feedback. Nothing yet. There we go. Right, it's about to go a little nuts, I think, if I have to be careful. Woo! 1 dB up, and it's about to take over. Okay. So this is our feedback. How we doing? I wonder if we're having internet problems today, because I am not seeing any action in the chat right now. Maybe you guys are just zoning in on the dub here. Maybe you guys are just... What's up? We got somebody on Twitch. Joshua says, sounds like a good Sunday morning. All right, yeah. There's like a big lag in my YouTube chat. I think we're having internet issues today. Hopefully we'll avoid them and we'll just keep making deep, spacey dub music and not get too distracted. All right. Back to the craziness. I've actually got... I'm living dangerously here. Hi. I got a MIDI controller today. Actually, let's not cover up the whole thing. Let's see if I can get this reduced a little bit so we can still see what's going on in live. There, that's better. I also know that I have a lot of fun doing like actual dub mixing with faders and knobs and things. Like you're actually doing dub mixing on a mixer. So let's start with mapping that fader or to a knob here. Oh, I'm sorry, not that fader, that send for the feedback. That works. Let's do another one. Let's do the filter on the filter frequency on the delay. I think I need a bandwidth as well. I could just listen to this all day, I swear. Yeah, we need the bandwidth. Although I'm going to switch these. We'll do the bandwidth on that one, and so we've got 3 knobs. There we go. When there's no high end going in, it doesn't get, there's no echo, and then the feedback doesn't really kick in. All right, so maybe I need to add some crispiness and noise to the bass to get a high frequency reaction. Oh, there it comes. Sneaking in after a while. I'm going to bring that feedback down just a little bit so it doesn't overwhelm us. Let's put some fuzzy, noisy crap on this bass. Any distortion, an overdrive will give it a little ripping sound if I do like a high frequency kind of exciting, or we could use, I don't know, anything. Any effects. Let's do erosion. Let's do erosion. That's going to be crispy. Yep. Ooh. Tickling my ears. I'm getting an expression control out now. I'm going to modulate the frequency of that erosion with, I mean, or any kind of, I could do any kind of, what am I doing with my hands? What are they doing over there on the upper right of the screen? That is weird. Don't look at yourself. Oh my God. All right. We want expression control. Hey, I'm missing an expression control. All results. We want the built-in one, right? I've got too many versions of different things here. Let's try this again. There it is. This one has a random retrigger. So let's do... Every time I play a bass note, different frequency on the noise from the erosion. All right, let's try a different delay time and see what that does. You hear so many dotted delays and syncopated delays. Let's just keep it eighths and quarters. Keep it straight. What happens if I put the kick and the hi-hat through this too? Okay. Let it come on. Let it. Oh my God. That's gonna hurt. I want another note. Getting there. I want the drums to be more juicy and something. Reverb, maybe? Even just playing with a hi-hat might be cool. You can definitely hear the delay on there now. Let's get some more noise. Why not? I'm not always loving that high note, but I could bring it in and out. Okay, Stefan Pete says, put all drums through saturator and play with low depth. But it's already being saturated. Do I saturate it again? Let's try. Just because Stefan said so. I mean, it's heavier, noisier now. I think I want some weird effects on it. It's got a little knock now. There's some resonance coming in there from the filter in the inside of the saturator. Definitely a lot of noise. Which reverb should we pick? I'm going to go for a Convolution Reverb Pro. And I'm going to put it before the saturator because I break rules. I'm going to distort the heck out of it. Let's go to a ambient small room preset. I'm looking for a different space, so it sounds really cool in your headphones. Whoa. Ooh, there you go. Now it's like warehouse dub. And it's muted now, it's so far away. You could play around with the position. I know that sounds pretty muddy, but it's like, I kind of like it like that. Dirty. It's dirty dub. It's just emphasizing that one quarter note. What else can this do? Don't want to mess with that too much because the low end's really good. Might want to think about leaving this alone. I mean, already I like the erosion modulating around like that. There's no effects or anything on this yet other than delay. How about some feedback? Somebody translate Christian's German comment, please. Okay, RB Alexander saying push the drums forward a little. I mean, the rest is just bass and delay, right? Another rule to break today is mixing through too many effects on your master bus. Giving the mix a tone. Of course, this is doing that too, for better or for worse. This has a high pass filter. I had it warmed up a little bit by pulling back on the highs. But maybe I went too far. A little bit of a wear on the tape, so it sounds kind of broken a little bit. Okay, not doing that. Just had to turn the record off for a second. I'll do that when we take a break. I'm gonna go back and play with that hi-hat a little bit. Let's EQ this. All right, I have an idea. I'm gonna put a modulation effect after this reverb and send the delay into the reverb and the flanger. So if I solo that, this is what we're doing. Swirly phasers on the reverb coming, and that's coming out of the delay. So we're just doing another layer of modulating noise Giving a little bit of a atmosphere. Thanks, Christian. Could even, so I've got the drums all going into the delay is going into the reverb and the flanger or the phaser, but I can also go straight into the, so any of this, I get straight into the reverb in the flanger. So as I do this, let's add some more knobs. More knobs. No rhyme or reason to these knobs. I'm just grabbing whatever. It's going to take a while to remember which one's which. Okay, let me play a little bit. Oh, we can also do this. I'm going to do a MIDI map the kick drum so I can do some mixing here. I'm going to actually get the chain volumes in the drum rack. Why not? Maybe want to work on that tom a little bit. Let's sort out this delay situation. I want it to be more dynamic. I mean, it is pretty dynamic. But maybe there's some other things I can do to make it crazy. I love how this is all just kick, bass, and hi-hat and tom and effects. I should play with the bass more, maybe? I mean, what can we do to make the bass, or just leave it low and add layers on top? All right, rolling tom pattern. It's so bassy and heavy now. If I put rolling toms in it, it's gonna be like too much bass probably. I mean, I haven't even really thought about how well mixed this is yet. It's really pretty. New Drexian wants a pad. I mean, I did say, maybe, but it's got to be something atmospheric and not just like too melodic or chords, right? I'm really trying to limit myself to more noise and texture. I have an idea, maybe. Well, maybe. Let's see. I'm gonna throw in something that can make noise. And so now it sounds like a white noise sort of snare right now, but what can we do to make this more interesting? I've got two more noise generators here and here. Oh, just some panning. That's weird, but we got to get this envelope going, right? 7 and these filters lined up. All right, so... All right, what's going on with these envelopes? Is it the filter going on? Let's get rid of the filters. That's gonna... There we go. Okay. So I've got stereo noise now, but let's run this through some effects that add resonance. There's some presets here, I think. Some formants. Something like that. So it's like... these are all just resonant frequencies, and it's creating harmonics, right? These are handy. So there's that kind of resonance being created just by filters in the EQ. We've got spectral stuff, spectral resonator. But that's really creating, like, it's not creating a chord so much. Oh, I know. Let's try vocoder, which is also a spectral filter in a way, right? I told you, I want weird and noisy. What does that sound like by itself? It's hard to tune it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I want it to be more less percussive. Make it more like a pad. All right, I'm not 100% sold on this, but this could be an interesting sound design process. What else can we do to this? I mean, I kind of like where it's going. I'll figure out how to make it move in more interesting ways, probably. That wasn't dark enough. Let's make it even darker. I'm just going to put this through all the same effect. Everything through the same effects. So it's all in the same space. I like that. LOVD is asking, how did you zoom like that on the screen? That's an accessibility control in OS X. You can turn this on in accessibility in your system preferences in OS X, where you hold down Control and then you two-finger scroll up and down to zoom in and out. I love it. It's the best way to do it. I do it when I teach. Figure out this tom. put a reverb on it. Why not? Let's get some hi-hat variations there, maybe. All right, where's the downbeat? Little swing just because. I really got to think creatively. Like, what else can I do with this? I mean, it could just be playing with the effects. Once you put that feedback up, I'm taking the drums out of the delay. Christian is recommending a resonant ride, like a 909 ride. I'm gonna make that pattern long so we don't hear that extra hi-hat so often. All right, Alexei says it needs some dark little Chicago-y thing. Just depends on where you want to go. I feel like I need a brain reset now. Let's hang out. What time is it? Wow, already 1:47. See, when I slow down like that and just like get kind of hypnotized, I lose track of time. You know, I was thinking it was more like 1:30, and it's actually been much longer than that. So yeah, we're keeping it low key. We're keeping it chill today. Doing some deep dubby techno. I'm trying to keep it more noisy as opposed to your typical dub chords, right? I like that too. That would be an easy addition to this actually. But I'm resisting that. I'm going for more noise and texture and percussion and effects, as I said. We're at a turning point. So yeah, so far so good. Here on Selway's Techno Saturdays on 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs Music Production School here in New York City and Berlin and online. And you know I have to say that because it's my job. But also because I want to, because I enjoy my work here at 343 Labs and teaching. We've got our 1-year program in full swing. They've got their first milestone projects. Basically every semester or quarter or however we're every marking period, right? We've got a set of goals for all of our students to meet. And, the one they have for the end of the year for December is finishing a new track and also working on a collaboration with another student. So that's going, like I said, we're deep in the swing of things. People are finishing up their first couple of courses and about to start their next round of courses. And there's a lot going on here. So if you want to know more about what we do at 343 Labs and our 1-year program and our standalone courses and our Discord that you should join if you haven't already, if you're a regular viewer here or a new viewer, right? We have the Selway feedback channel in our Discord. There's a link below. When I announce the next feedback sessions, that's where you'll submit. So definitely get in there and join if you haven't already. And visit our websites to find out more about our courses and everything else we're doing and our events that are coming up and all of that. So Cool. Very nice, Steve Life. Thank you very much for the nice comment. I appreciate that. And Ben Colts, call the track Brain Reset. Perfect. I love doing that. I love like saving when I can't think of track names, I'll just name it the last thing I said or the last thing that someone else has said. So yeah, and that's what I said, right? I need a brain reset. So this is what it's called. Thank you. Thank you for alerting my attention to that. All right. This is going to be a little bit of a big aside, but talking about a serious brain reset. So I'm going to show you guys something that I was hanging out with my son this morning. And he was playing around with some. He was online in checking out some. Look at that, checking out some websites where you could play with. It was like sonification of images and like visual interactive, like dragging on the screen to change the sounds and the melody. And he's always been a big fan of rabbits and bunnies, and he has a favorite stuffed animal. So I showed him in with how you can draw pictures with MIDI notes, and we drew a sketch of his bunny. But that one looks really. I need to look at a smaller one so you can. Yeah, you can see that, right? That's Clover. All right. And so I ended up, we drew the sketch, and then I showed him how you could take that MIDI and then using MIDI effects. And this gets a little complicated for a young kid, but I showed him how we could draw that shape and then use that MIDI to generate musical parts. And we ended up making a piece of music. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this with you guys. I think it'll be cool. I wanted a brain reset. This is the brain reset. So let's take a listen as soon as I get the audio set up here. Let's make sure that we have the stream output going. And cross your fingers. All right, that's a little loud. That sounds even crazier than I remember it. Wow. It's kind of making me smile, right? It sounds like bunnies forever. So, yeah, so much of this is, all right, do you want to know what the notes sound like without without all the fancy stuff, without all the MIDI processing? So this is, I think this is the one we started with. So this is what it is without any limitations on what the notes are coming out. So that's the sound of the MIDI notes in the shape of the bunny. And then it's upside down, it's inverted. This is the weirdest thing I've ever done on this stream. And then it's backwards. All right, but then I put on the scale. Right now it's playing in A major. And then I randomized it a little bit so it wasn't always the same. That was a little bit of cheating. And then so that's just the idea, is that we're different sounds, different MIDI processing variations on each track. All I need to do is put some Aphex Twin drums on it and it's done, right? I'm looking through breakbeats now. Could do some kind of crazy drum and bass stuff with it, maybe. All right, I'm getting so distracted today. All right. Anyway, thanks for that, indulging my little brain reset there. I thought it was kind of fun just to hear something different. All right, now let's go back and open up the dub track. Getting some questions. Steve Leich is asking, we are listening to you as a teacher. Who was your influence for techno? For me, I learned from, well, I started with house and acid house and British rave music. And that's how that was my gateway to, like, what was popular in the UK. That was my first exposure. There's kind of an indie music scene in Washington, D.C. and Virginia where I grew up, and I played in bands, and I had a lot of friends playing different kinds of music. And Washington, D.C., as you know, the center of government here is a big international community there, and I had a lot of friends that traveled, or came from other countries. And I had a friend I went to school with whose mother was a diplomat, and he would spend his summers in the UK and France, and he came back in the late 80s, I want to say 87, 88, 89, and he came back with tapes that he recorded off the radio from DJs that were playing house and early rave music and, whatever was popular. And I came to learn, I was, inspired by this music, and I came to learn that a lot of the music that DJs were playing was from the United States, specifically Chicago, and then Detroit, and then New York. And then, I was aware of other electronic music before this. I was into like new wave and industrial and, that kind of thing. But I just became completely, caught up in learning about this music and learning about DJ culture and how to make music for DJs and like what they were playing in the clubs and raves. And I was just getting old enough as a teenager to start going out to parties and experience the social aspect of it. And I found a magazine from England. It's the precursor to DJ magazine now. It used to be called Jocks. And there was an interview with some of the original Chicago producers that did, like Future, DJ Pierre, those guys. And they were talking about acid house, and the TB303 was mentioned in that article. And that was like, I already had a synth, but there's a Juno 106 I showed you guys on the camera a couple weeks ago. That I already had that in the 80s, and then I remembered I saw a 303 in the glass case on sale for cheap at the music shop in down the street. I got really lucky. I got my 303 for like $200, and that was it. And then I discovered, the stuff that I liked the most out of the house and techno and the early rave music was the more futuristic sounding Detroit stuff, European stuff, like early German, Belgian, ravey kind of stuff. I was into all of that. I got into hard techno as well. So just in general, like my biggest musical influences for techno are the Detroit, like original kind of crew. Kevin Saunderson, Juan Atkins, especially Juan Atkins. Derek May a little bit, not as much. More Juan Atkins, and then Kevin Saunderson, I think, as far as a production influence. And then UK bleep techno, the early Warp releases, LFO, Nightmares on Wax, Richard Kirk from Cabaret Voltaire, who did and Sweet Exorcist, and the remixes of Sweet Exorcist were like, wow, that early bleep stuff with the heavy bass, precursor to kind of the breaks and drum and bass stuff that came after. All that was super influential on me when I got started, for sure. So I'm terrible. What are everyone's in techno is inspired by Jeff Mills. I got the chance to see him. He had a residency in New York at the Limelight in the 90s, and I got to see him almost every week playing, work in a room and playing his style. And so that was also a huge influence as far as, for sure, DJing. There's more. It's hard for me to just dredge up all the names at the drop of a hat, but a lot of the same famous names you all have heard of. I've been listening to all this time, and yeah, I did kind of, have a foot in the door pretty early on in the scene here in New York. I can even say someone like, even though I'm not so much into the hardcore stuff anymore, like, Disintegrator, the project I did with Oliver Chesler on Industrial Strength Records, Lenny D's label, like he was an influence on me as well, especially as far as learning about how the music industry worked, because his was like the first label I had a real deal with. And so learning about that world and getting to know about music distribution in New York. We had some of the biggest vinyl distributors in the country. They used to be in New York, so I was a buyer at a record shop. I used to meet all sorts of people coming in and out of the record shop. So yeah, all of that, all of the above. Okay, it's already 2:00. I've managed to waste all this time. Let's listen after we've had our major brain reset with the bunnies and this conversation about my influences, and We'll play it out. Let's play it out on where we're at, and we'll continue this. We're going to continue this on another week. We're going to finish this up. Had to reset the MIDI controller. All right. Let's get rid of that noise for a second. That noise pad layer that we made. Definitely needs more. It was a good start today. I need to work more on how I'm controlling the delay on that bass. I think I might need to have some more control over the frequency of the bass going into the delay. The way I have the mapping on the controllers is not quite as responsive as I would like. Ben Colts is suggesting a vocal sample. That always could be cool. I could look for some vocal samples to mix in there. Did I lose my mapping? Something happened to the MIDI mapping because the delay's not responding. Yeah, okay. Something's going on. The feedback's working. Oh no, there it goes. Just got stuck for a second. Bring that kick drum back. All right, I think we're in a good spot. This was a good start, a good sketch. Get the drums back in there. I need to work on the effects. Too much kick drum going into the delay. I think that's an issue I gotta fix. Not so bad when I use the filter up higher though, because it's really not getting all the bass. All right, I have my work cut out for me. Okay. That's it for today, everybody. Thanks for hanging out and going on this ride with me. And here I am in the studio and coming in for a landing. Have a good week, and I will talk to you next time. Adios.
sun.